GroeGolf Academy. We believe in you. Hello, my name is Dario Groe, and I'm the founder of GroeGolf Academy. And this is the first of a series of 8 videos I'm doing with respect to my teaching roadmap, or basic roadmap to better golf. This is what I use with my students, and just watching and understanding these videos should help you improve your game. So I'm going to start with the static fundamentals. There's 4 static fundamentals, and they are grip, alignment, posture, and ball position. All right, for the course of all of these sessions, I'm going to use, I'll slow this down, I'm going to use Aaron Baddeley. This is Aaron Baddeley here. And I'm going to do that really more for consistency, so that you're seeing the same individual, and it's going to be easier for you to relate to understand how the whole thing works. Okay. The reason I use Aaron Baddeley is he's a top player, and he also has a very simple motion. There's not a lot of hiccups in here. Pretty simple, as I said, and he's a good role model, someone to follow. I should also mention, for any of those of you that know Aaron Baddeley, this is pre-stack and tilt. So if anybody knows what stack and tilt is, it's a new method of swinging a golf club. So this was a few years ago. He's been using the stack and tilt for 2 years, and now apparently he's going back to the traditional golf motion. So this is more of what you're going to see him do if you watch him this coming season. Okay. I'm not going to show you much here in this particular video, but all the future videos you'll watch his whole motion, and obviously you saw it in the intro here. All right, so let's start with ball position, since we have him here. I don't really need that other video for that, but I'll just pull this up and I'll draw a little line here. Okay, so ball position really quickly. For anything that's on the ground, I recommend placing the ball forward of center. Okay, one of the big misconceptions that people have, and because they hear this and they've read it, is that the ball moves back in your stance for the short irons and forward in your stance for the long irons. Now that is true. However, most people misperceive this to think that it moves that much, or the line that I drew there, when in actual fact, it doesn't move very much at all. Okay? That's how much the ball moves. Front would be just slightly forward, and back would be slightly back. So it really doesn't move very much at all. My recommendation is that you leave it in the same place all the time. As you develop as a player, you will instinctually move it slightly forward or slightly back, okay? And then when you play specialty shots, yes, you can move it further back or further forward, but really try to stay away from that. Better players, when they're struggling, even players as good as Aaron Baddeley here, if they're struggling, they're not going to move the ball around much. They're going to leave it where it is, and they're just going to play, try to hit some fairways and greens. When they're playing their best, that's when they'll play some different types of shots. Okay? So again, keep it forward of center. When you're hitting a driver off a tee, so once you start introducing a tee, then that's when things change. Okay? So now we need to move it further forward because we're hitting the ball as we're ascending. We're hitting it at a different time in the arc, or a different time in the golf swing. Even in this picture, I think Aaron Baddeley has the ball too far back in his stance. I'd like to see it more towards the left heel. But again, it's definitely acceptable here. This is typically more where you would see someone hit a 3-wood. I don't think he's hitting a 3-wood here. I'm pretty sure it's a driver. But again, I'd recommend having it a slightly further forward. It's going to allow you to hit the ball with a little more boring ball flight. Probably do a better job transferring energy to the ball. But who am I to question Aaron Baddeley, right? All right, so that's ball position. Let's talk a little bit about posture. Okay, when we talk about posture, I'm really going to draw your attention to the right side of the screen. And I'm going to use a different color because the white doesn't show up well in the shirt. But what we're looking for is a couple of things. We want to bend from the waist to allow our arms to hang naturally in front of us. Okay, so we're creating an angle so that we could swing a golf club. All right, and we're going to swing a golf club that's on the ground. Okay. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to bend the knees to allow ourselves to have a nice stable base. Right? And then we're just going to, again, very relaxed, very athletic position. we're just going to sort of sink into our feet here, okay, which you don't see here. But again, you can see those angles, and he's standing over a very solid base. When we look at, let me pull this out here, sorry. Go back to an iron so it's easier again for you to relate. Okay, so again, what we see here is that from face-on view is that his feet are shoulder width apart. So they're, he's got a very stable base, and they're evenly distributed. He's not leaning one way or the other. He's very solid, okay, with respect to his lower body. His upper body, however, is slightly tilted to the right. And again, this is the conventional golf swing, not the stack and tilt. If we were stack and tilt, we'd be in a different place. But again, I'm going to create a video later after this series of videos talking about the difference between stack and tilt, because it's a popular topic now. But I'll get to that down the road. Right now, for conventional, you slightly tilt to the right, which means the right shoulder is lower than the left. And this really happens as a result of the right hand being lower than the left. So it's a natural position to be in. Okay, so that's posture. And then what we want to do is talk a little bit about alignment, or maybe a little more about alignment before we get to the grip. So, okay. So when we talk about alignment, draw your attention to the right. We're really just going to use this video on the right. But you can see the great players. Here's something you want to definitely make a note of. Even though he's a great player, he's a top player, not even though, more so because he's a top player, he recognizes how important alignment is. Okay? So what he does is he uses a visual aid to help him train his eyes to see the target where it actually is and not where he perceives it to be. This is easily the most complicated fundamental, static fundamental. And it really takes someone, I would recommend you see your local pro to have them explain this to you properly, because a camera is two-dimensional and can feed some poor information. If you've ever watched golf on TV, it looks like someone's aiming way right or way left. All that is the cameraman in position in relation to the player, and the information is sometimes very confusing. So again, it's hard for me to explain it here. But I'm going to do my best. I would have you go see someone to get you through it. But basically, what we're looking for is we're looking for the lines of the body to run parallel to the intended target line. So that's eyes, shoulders, hips, knees, feet. Right? They're all moving in the same direction. And so what he's doing is he's unified. It's easier for the body to move, and he's going to tend to be more consistent from here. But again, it's very hard to see when you're standing adjacent to the ball, and most people are what I call right aimers. They think they're doing this, but they're actually aiming way right, and then they have to compensate with their golf motion to make the adjustment, because everybody's primary objective is the same, and that's to hit the ball to the target. All right, so that's alignment. Again, complicated. If you have trouble with this, which you're likely going to have, we all do, go see someone to help you through it. All right, grip. With respect to grip, I'm going to need to get mine in here because I don't have a close-up of Aaron, so I'm going to pull up my grip, and we'll just show you what it looks like. So again, on the right, what we were looking for is there's two things we want to do. We want to hold the club in the fingers, and we want a specific relationship between the hands and the club head. You can't see the club head here, but we're assuming that the club face is square. All right? So if you don't know what a square club face is, recommend go get a book or something. All it means is that it's pointed towards the intended target. Okay? All right, so what we're looking for here is we want the club moving across the hand. So you can see that there's the top pad. This is the tip of the finger, and this is the middle pad of my left index finger. What we want is in the index finger, we want it in the middle pad, and then it moves towards the back pad of the left hand. And then from here, we just wrap that club around my fingers, and then my left thumb sits on top of the golf club. And I'm sure you've heard V's or lines before pointed to the trailing shoulder. This is what we're looking to do. That's the position of the left hand. The right hand then gets underneath here, and I'll just speed it up to take you there. Again, the middle pads go around the club. The middle pads sit on the bottom seam. The fingers get on top, and then the right hand gets on top here. And then again, same thing. This line moves up towards the right shoulder. Hope that helps. Take care.